In a world not like our own, the age of mutants began in war. The world never noticed the moment everything changed. Not when the flag fell. Not when Fury broke his chains. Not even when Howlett rose from the snow. The end of mankind didn't begin with a bomb. It began with a man who wouldn't die. August 1942, the Battle of Tenneru. Amid the thunder of gunfire and burning palms, he charged, draped in stars and stripes, clutching the flag like it meant something. The first of his kind. America's super soldier. He didn't make it past the beach. A single shot, a collapse in the mud, the flag soaked red, his body twisted over the corpses of the men he was meant to inspire. Back in Washington, President Roosevelt studied the black and white photo of the fallen soldier. His hand trembled. He didn't ask for a hero. He asked for a weapon. He was just a man, an advisor said quietly. Roosevelt's eyes narrowed. Then make me something more. 1 year later, the Allied invasion of Sicily. Nick Fury had survived hell, only to be dragged into a different kind of war. He wasn't on the front lines. He was in the shadows, looting a villa alongside a Canadian brawler named James Howlett and a thief named Fisk. They weren't heroes. They were ghosts, scraping profit from ruins. But greed has a price. Fury and Howlett were captured, shackled, disappeared into the system. No trial, no names, just numbers. Somewhere in the heart of America, deep beneath a false facility, a new science was born. Project Rebirth, Test Subject 41, Nicholas Fury. He woke strapped to cold steel, wrists bound, jaw clenched, breath fogging in the sterile air. The room was silent except for the hum of machines and the scratch of pens. They didn't see a man, just a number, a variable. No questions, no explanations. Just a needle, long, gleaming, filled with plasma thick as oil and tainted with something stolen from the bodies of the failed. Some screamed, some went silent. Most never woke up. Fury did both. Fury's scream wasn't human. His spine arched, muscles tore, bones shifted like breaking glass. Then, silence. A heartbeat passed, then another. The doctors leaned in, pens ready to mark another corpse. But Fury's eyes snapped open. They weren't eyes anymore. They were a furnace, lit by rage so pure it didn't look human. He didn't wake up. He erupted. He broke the restraints like they were twine. The explosion that followed wiped out the upper floor of the lab. When they arrived, the guards found shattered glass, mangled steel, and empty cages. Every prisoner was gone. Fury had set them free. And he was gone too, vanished like a storm after landfall. They had wanted a weapon. Now they had one. But that was just the beginning. Alberta, Canada, October 1943. James Howlett woke drowning in silence, floating inside a coffin of ice and glass. Barely conscious, barely human. The scientists told him he was safe, that they were friends. He didn't believe them. He ripped out the IVs and broke through the reinforced wall with nothing but his bare fists. Naked and bleeding, he vanished into the snow. They followed him, ordered to bring him in, dead or alive. He didn't make it far before the bullets found him. Chest, leg, skull. He dropped in the snow, and then he rose. The hole in his head closed. The skin resealed. The blood returned to his veins. He didn't run. He turned and charged. It took 15 men to bring him back. 3 years later, in the deepest basement of a classified facility, a new director stood over Howlett's containment tank, watching the man float like a sleeping god. "What the hell is this?" he barked, staring at the creature suspended like a monster in formaldehyde. Dr. Cornelius didn't flinch. "We tried to make another Captain America," he said, voice calm as glass. "But evolution had other plans." He pulled a slide beneath a microscope. "This is a normal human genome, and this," he tapped the other slide, "is Howlett's. This isn't damaged, it's evolved." "Evolved?" "A mutation," Cornelius said, almost reverently. "Healing beyond comprehension, senses like an animal, rage that fuels regeneration. And it's not just him." The director stared at the DNA spiral. "You made a mistake." Cornelius turned. "No, sir. We made a future." In their hunger to build a weapon, they had built a new species, not born in nature, not summoned by God, forged by war and fire and suffering. The mutant gene didn't crawl out of evolution. It was created in a lab, inside a man named James Howlett. He would be the first. He would not be the last. They called him many things over the years. Weapon X, Wolverine. But to the ones who made him, he was something far more terrifying. He was Mutant Zero.